did you know that in the entire world, Istanbul is the only transcontinental city? If you're on the western side of the Bosphorus Strait, you are in Europe, but if you are on the eastern side, you are in Asia. That being said, there's so much to see and do in this gorgeous city. Comment below if you'd love to visit or have ever visited Istanbul, because we'll be diving into our guide on the best places to visit in Istanbul. Stay tuned. Number 10. Dolmabahçe Palace. Your bucket list should undoubtedly include a visit to the opulent and intricate Dolmabahçe Palace, which illustrates the Ottoman Empire's great dependence on European adornment and design during the 19th century. Dolmabahçe Palace also served as an official home in the early years of the Turkish Republic. The fact that Atatürk, the man who created modern Turkey, passed away here in 1938 is even more intriguing. The formal gardens are enhanced by lovely fountains, elegant basins, and luxuriant flower beds. The combination of Rococo, Baroque, Neoclassical, and Ottoman elements in the interiors, combined with massive crystal chandeliers, a lot of gold, French-style furniture, and frescoed ceilings, produce a spectacular Turkish Renaissance style of absolute splendor and pomp. If you are in the city, it's well worth a visit. Number 9. Spice Bazaar, Mısır Çarşısı. One of Istanbul's most popular tourist destinations, the Spice Bazaar periodically becomes crammed to the gills with enormous tour groups from the docked cruise ships. For Istanbul, the impressive new mosque, which was begun in 1615 and completed in 1663, is located directly across from the entrance to the Spice Bar. It's worth stopping by while you're visiting the area because the interior is luxuriously designed with tilework and tons of gold leaf. The Eminönü district, where the magic happens, is home to the spice market. It is considered a significant harbor and is located close to the Beyoğlu neighborhood. Many people must go there since it has the best view of the Golden Horn, and that alone makes your vacation to Istanbul incomplete without it. Number 8. Architecture of the Suleymaniye Mosque. The Suleymaniye Mosque, which is positioned high on a hill overlooking the Sultanahmet area, is one of Istanbul's most distinctive landmarks. The mosque's interior, which is distinguished by a 53-meter-tall dome, is known for its harmonious architecture and proportions. The serene garden also features a beautiful outdoor Ottoman-era cemetery and the tombs of Sultan Süleyman and his wife, Haseki Hürrem Sultan, often commonly known outside of Turkey as Roxelana. You ought to look at this mosque. It was built as a complex that featured a hospital, library, madrasa, kitchen, and hospice for the less fortunate, hammam, and stores like many other huge and prominent mosques of the time. It is one of the best specimens of Ottoman Islamic architecture in Istanbul. Number 7. The Grand Bazaar, Kapalı Çarşı. Everyone congregates in the Grand Bazaar, and for many travelers, shopping in Istanbul is just as important as touring historic sites and museums. The massive covered market, located between the Nuri Osmaniye and Beyaz mosques, spans an entire city district and is completely surrounded by tall walls. It is essentially the first shopping center in history. On the site of Theodosius I's forum, the Beyazıt Mosque, which was built between 1498 and 1505, was inspired by the Hagia Sophia. One of the bar's 11 gates opens into a maze of vaulted ceilinged lanes that are crammed with stores and stalls selling every possible form of Turkish souvenir and handicraft. The Grand Bazaar, one of the largest and oldest covered markets in the world with a huge selection of things for sale, has something for everyone. Whatever your interests, this labyrinth of covered walkways peppered with shops probably has something to catch your eye. Number 6. Istanbul Archeology Museum. This large museum complex, which is nearby and conveniently reachable after Topkapi Palace, assembles a variety of things from Turkey and the rest of the Middle East. 3 unique sections make up the museum complex, and each one is worth a visit. The pre-Islamic art and heritage of the Middle East are featured in a collection on display at the Museum of the Ancient Orient, which is sure to delight art enthusiasts. The region also houses the Istanbul Through the Ages display area, which helps visitors visualize the city's lengthy and epic history. You can view major turning points in human history and discover the first love, conflict, and peace in the Istanbul Archeology museums, and find rich cultural heritage items left by various civilizations. Wouldn't that be fun? Number 5. The Hippodrome. The Byzantine public life was centered in the historic Hippodrome, which hosted grand occasions, chariot races, and factional fights. The following 3 ancient structures are a stone obelisk that was once covered in gold-covered brass plating before being captured by the soldiers of the Fourth Crusade in 1204. A 20-meter-tall Egyptian obelisk from Heliopolis, and the serpent column that Constantine brought here from Delphi. Only a little piece of the Hippodrome's gallery walls on its southern side is still visible today, but the maiden part that presently stands where they once did is now filled with interesting artifacts. Number 4. The Basilica Cistern, Yerebatan Sarnici. The Basilica Cistern is one of Istanbul's most unexpected tourist attractions. This vast palace-like underground room, supported by 336 columns placed in 12 rows, once housed the royal water supply of the Byzantine emperors. The project was begun by Constantine the Great and finished by Emperor Justinian in the 6th century. The expanded cistern's water filtering system, which also provided water to the Topkapi Palace after the Ottoman takeover in 1453 and up to the present, served the Great Palace of Constantinople and other buildings on the first hill. Many of the intricately carved columns in the building were salvaged from ancient classical structures. The most well-known of them is the column bases in the northwest corner, known as the Medusa stones, which feature carved Medusa heads. A genuinely unique visit is made possible by the beautifully lit columns and the steady, soothing trickle of water all around you. Number 3. Blue Mosque, Sultan Ahmet Kami. This majestic mosque was Sultan Ahmet's great architectural gift to his capital. It is now more well known as the Blue Mosque. The mosque got its name because its inside was decorated with tens of thousands of Iznik tiles. Due to its overall spatial and color effect on the interior, this mosque is among the finest specimens of Ottoman construction. Therefore, if you appreciate architecture, add this to your bucket list. One of Istanbul's greatest sightseeing pleasures is strolling through the gardens situated between the Blue Mosque and the Hagia Sophia to admire the dueling domes' twin grandeur. The local handicrafts shops at the Arasta Bazaar, which is right behind the Blue Mosque, are great places to shop since they stock high-quality souvenirs. Visit at sunset when the call to prayer is echoing for an enhanced experience. Number 2. Topkapi Palace, Topkapi Sarayı. The Topkapi Palace is a very well-liked attraction in Istanbul because of its distinctiveness and location. The majority of the structures in use today are from the 15th and 16th centuries. The Topkapi Palace's original design has endured 5 centuries of alterations. The vast complex's exquisite courtyards, which connect a maze of lavishly decorated apartments that are all encompassed by battlemented walls and towers, are lined with intricately hand-painted tilework. The most popular of the many attractions here is the harem complex, which housed the Sultan's numerous concubines and children. The second court, where you can explore the roomy palace kitchens and marvel at the lavish interior of the Imperial Council chamber, and the third court, which served as the Sultan's private quarters. You can find a treasure trove of breathtakingly beautiful objects made of priceless gems and brilliant gold in the Imperial Treasury, which is situated in the third court. The sacred safekeeping room also houses an amazing collection of Muhammadan artifacts. Number 1. Hagia Sophia, Hagia Sophia Mosque. 3 to 5 million tourists visit the Hagia Sophia each year because of its spectacular architecture, fascinating history, and exquisite artwork. Due to its amazing appearance, enormous size, and unique placement in Istanbul's most picturesque and ancient area, it usually tops tourists' lists. Despite being transformed into a mosque after Ottoman armies entered Constantinople, a museum in the 20th century, again into a working mosque in 2020, it has continued to be one of Istanbul's most cherished buildings. The Hagia Sophia, or Hagia Sophia in Turkish, served as the emperor's arrogant display of his realm's wealth and technological might to the outside world. Tradition held that the location of the world's center was inside the church, precisely below the emperor's seat. The Hagia Sophia is unquestionably worth your time and is one of Istanbul's most well-known tourist attractions. The mosaics and artwork are breathtaking, the architecture is magnificent, and the history is interesting. Which place on this list would you be visiting first? Tell us in the comments.